icartoon2 coming to you from my frozen tundra Star Wars Empire Strikes Back mode. On a beautiful, crisp, well, it's not too crisp actually, it's almost 50 degrees out. But we get a heap of snow, and I'm going to give you two icartoon2 tips for those of you that deal with this kind of dilemma. I love it on days where it snows, kids don't have to go to school, nice and cozy, homey, nobody has to go anywhere because you can't get out of the driveway. Why? Because there's a big huge heaping pile of snow at the end of the driveway just like this. Each morning of these kind of events, you know, kids love it. I used to love it. Then you get old, you find out there ain't no vacation, ain't no day off. Man, this adds to your labors. You know, one of the things I hate about shoveling snow, I mean, I gotta say, like at least 99% of our labors here on Earth are temporal. You know, they don't amount to nothing anyway. They, you know, like it says, you know, in Ecclesiastes, vanity, vanity, all is vanity, saith the preacher. I mean, if this ain't the most vain labor of all, because every time I'm shoveling snow, I always consider the fact that it's going to melt. What's the point? It's going to melt. It's going to go away. So I try to encourage myself with the fact that, hey, look, before you know it, it's going to be the 4th of July again. You know, so just get it over with. Just get her done. But anyways, here's the two tips. All right, now you notice there, see how it's, you know, the snow is like way higher than my little trusty snowblower. Well, so my snowblower ain't going to cut through that. So here's the deal. You know, there was a time where, you know, I would tackle this whole thing by myself. Until I realized, why do all the work yourself? I mean, you got a snowblower here. Why not share the labor? All right, so you do part of it with your shovel, and you do part of it with your snowblower. And I'm cranking up my tripod here so I can drop it in the snowbank and show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, I used to do that very thing up until about, 15 minutes ago. And then I realized, what a clod I am. I mean, you all know that anyway. But I mean, just whack off the top. Hardly got anywhere to put this stuff anymore. There's enough of it. Huge heaping piles. Oh, by the way, here's another point for you. As I videotape my feet. Here's another tip. All right, watch how you handle this stuff. You kill yourself, you know. Look, don't reach out like that and then try to lift it while it's way out there. Go crank. All right, now actually you're gonna get three. You're gonna get 3 tips. All right. So crank it up like that, drag it back, then lift it with your arms. Hoist it. Not even that. You gotta watch how you don't wrench your back doing this stuff. Use your arms. It's good for the biceps, good for the triceps. All right, so now we've sufficiently done that. Now let me give you tip number 2, which is actually gonna be tip number 3. Take my camera off here. All right, if you got one of these kind of snowboarders, it's got this little primer thing. All right, now check this out. Now rather than crank on this thing 500 times, because when you first go to turn it on, it'll stall out on you. Let me give you an example. Probably won't do it now because I had it running just a short time ago. But, all right, watch this. I was going to make a liar out of me, but it'll start right up and it'll keep running. It won't even start up. Oh yeah, I gotta turn on the fuel valve here. Okay, prime it a couple times. Alright, now you notice how it stalled there? Now until it gets warmed up, you could just keep hitting the primer and then crank on that sucker and then, you know, do that like 50 times. Or you can do this. Watch what I do. Prime it. Starts to stall. Hit the prime again. instead I keep having to pull on that thing, it's a lot easier to just hit the primer thing and keep it running. Actually, I know why it's not staying running, because I had the choke turned down. That sucker needs to run a little more. Never mind. We'll save that for another video, what I'm trying to say. I'll just get on with the rest of this thing so you can see what I'm talking about sharing the load. Even though I'm sure you probably figured out already and I don't need to go to this part of the demonstration. But because I'm icartoon2, just for you! Right back out into the road. And there you have it. That's your helpful tip for the day. Thank you so much for watching 1611.